the World 2020 Champions India.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the pre-match live session. I'm Suryakumar Yadav, your host for the day, and it's India versus Bangladesh match today. Well, we lost our last match to South Africa, so this match is really very important for us. India is just one win away to book their spot in the semi-finals. Of course, it depends on other matches as well, the results and all, but this match is really very crucial, and India should win this match. Also, we are expecting some change in the playing 11, given that in the last match, Dinesh Karthik was seen in a bit of a trouble. So we're expecting that Rishabh Pant might come in. But to discuss all of that in detail, I have with me Vineet Ramakrishnan. Hello, Vineet. How are you?
Hello, Rami. I'm good.
So we need, we ended our last live session, and I told you that we'll begin this live session on DK's question only. So here's the DK question: what's the latest update, and what do you think? Will he play or not?
To answer your second part of the question, will he play or not? It's highly unlikely that he will play. In terms of what his status is, Rahul Dravid in yesterday's pre-match press conference pretty much said that they'll assess his condition on the morning of the match, that is today morning. So then only will be clear. But the general consensus or whatever we are hearing from the Indian camp and from Chetan Narula, who's our correspondent there in Adelaide, is the fact that India might not, stretch Dinesh Karthik even if he is ready. Look, he went off with a back spasm. Adelaide weather isn't the greatest. It's cold. It's not that great for back spasms. So that way, so they may not, stretch Dinesh Karthik, and you could see Dinesh Karthik being rested for this game. And as you mentioned, these are relatively easier games for India, so India would consider resting Dinesh Karthik. That would mean you get in Rishabh Pant, which it's a problem in itself altogether. But yeah, most likely Dinesh Karthik won't be playing this game.
Yeah, so then we have a very tricky scenario with it. Okay, now when we talk about Rishabh Pant, we haven't seen him in greatest of his forms of late. And then we have KL Rahul as a player as well. Okay, and we have seen how KL Rahul has performed in the last three matches. Now, when you see these two players in the playing 11, the two players who are not in greatest of their forms and they are in such a crucial match against Bangladesh, then how much our batting gets affected?
Pretty much. I mean, it's just a tricky question. I mean, you look at the fact what has Dinesh Karthik done, in the tournament so far in comparison to what Rishabh Pant brings in. Dinesh Karthik in the last game was the last against South Africa game was the only game where he could have got some time in the middle, and yet he did not do that well. He is a finisher. He's looked at that. Rishabh Pant, if he replaces Dinesh Karthik, would be in that mid order slot as a left-hander. He could be bumped up. I mean, it's a very tricky question to answer in the way that will it affect India's batting per se. It won't. KL Rahul's form is a big worry, and that will continue to be a big worry. It's most likely that he will play this game, another chance for him to improve form. But to answer your question, having a DK, not having a DK, and having a Pant, will it affect the batting or will it weaken the batting? I really don't think so. Will it strengthen the batting? Even I am not really sure, because as you mentioned that Rishabh Pant himself has not been in the greatest of forms, and honestly we haven't seen Pant bat, right? I mean, it's been like months that we haven't seen him bat extensively. So it's a very tricky situation for India. And one more thing I'd like to add here is that look, we are talking about this being a relatively easy game, so to speak, right? So in that sense, if the batting comes down to a DK or a Rishabh Pant, then there's issue at the top of the order for India, right? That would mean that a KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, or Virat Kohli may not have performed, and which is not ideal enough. So I do see this swap happening, right? Because it's a forced change, but I'm not looking at this from a fact that, I'll want to see a Rishabh Pant, see how he goes vis-a-vis in comparison to a Dinesh Karthik.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to see, if both of them are in the same playing 11 today, then how our team will perform. But there's a question for you, Vineet, from one of our viewers. They're asking, will Deepak Hooda play? What's your thought on that?
I think the question has been put by Cute Animals. The name is quite good, but I really don't think so that India would make any change in the sense that they'll persist with Deepak Hooda is what my inkling is. Look, he didn't do anything in that game. Like, he didn't bowl. He came in for Axar Patel. And look, Bangladesh have a lot of left-handers, so Axar Patel's role again is very much curtailed. So I might as well go with a Deepak Hooda. The only reason being, if India want to try out their six bowling option in Deepak Hooda, this is probably the game they may get 2-3 overs out of Deepak Hooda. Not that is his primary job. His primary job, as we were expecting in the South Africa game, was to fill in that middle order slot, which he failed miserably. The the Perth pitch was
Yeah.
just he was not up to pace with that Perth pitch. Adelaide won't be like that. Adelaide is predominantly looked at as a heavy, big scoring ground, and it will be much easier for him to adjust. It's a Bangladesh attack as well. It won't be the same pace as South Africa. There will be a lot of spinners, and Deepak Hooda, remember, is a very good player of spin as well. So if there's a game that you want to try Deepak Hooda, this probably is the game, and you can afford to rest someone like Axar Patel and keep him for maybe for the next final Zimbabwe game, or maybe for the knockouts. But if you want to play Deepak Hooda, this is the game that you have to. So I don't see that change happening. But then again, it's a T20 management. You will never know.
Absolutely. And then Simon Bhuyan says that I expect it to be a competitive game. Well, it'll definitely be a competitive game because India really need to win this game. They're just a win, back of to make their position sealed for the semi-finals. But we need, as you mentioned about the pitch, and last time we talked in length about lot many things. And on that note, we have Chetan Narula as well over here. So, hi Chetan.
Hi everyone. Hello to all the audience on our channel as well. Hello Suramya. Hello Vineet. And I was just listening. Vineet saying कि हुडा ने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया पिछले गेम में. हाँ तो कुछ भी नहीं किया ना, इसीलिए तो नहीं खिलाएंगे. No, but on the serious note, yeah, I think they will make a change. I know you have not put this question to me yet, but I think they will make a change. Yesterday, we saw Harshal Patel and Axar Patel, both of them really batting heavily and intensely in the nets, bowling as well. So I think Harshal Patel might be in the side today. I'm not sure, but I think it's a comeback for Axar today because obviously you're playing against Bangladesh, you can play spin better, and you need to have an extra additional spin factor because Adelaide, I mean, yes, I can see the pitch here, but I can tell you that it's not really your dryish Adelaide pitch. There's some tinge of green, and the conditions are a bit overcast. But
Okay.
what happens is if you need an additional spinner, then you don't want to bowl Deepak Hooda. That's my thinking. So, and I don't think Rohit Sharma trusts his spin bowling that much as well.
Right. Well, Chetan, I was talking the same with Vineet. In the last game, we talked at length about, the pitches at Perth, and now it's Adelaide. So, what kind of game we are expecting today? We saw the game Netherlands versus Zimbabwe right now. So, what kind of game are we expecting in this match?
Look, I don't think the Netherlands Zimbabwe game can provide us an indicator of how that game will go. But I think the pitch is good enough. I think it's maybe the ball is stopping a little bit and
Okay.
coming on, and there's a little bit of drizzle that's starting at the moment, but it's just a drizzle. I don't think the players are going off. But yeah, the boundaries are really short. I mean, I can't show you because it's against the rules, but the boundaries are really short. The square boundaries in particular, really short. The straight boundary, this one is also brought in a bit. The other one, the far end, the big scorecard end, is around 80 meters, and that has also been brought in a bit. So, um, it could be a game where we see a lot of square boundaries being hit. Usually, what we've seen so far on all Australian grounds, batsmen have targeted the straight boundaries, be it Perth, be it Sydney, be it MCG, towards mid wicket and straighter in the V. That's where they have targeted. Today, I think it could change. Today, I think we might see people targeting the square boundaries. I think again, it could be a game where we see 150, 160, could be the pass score, maybe even 140, depends really. Most importantly, I think India will win the toss and bat first because they would want to give. KL Rahul is definitely playing. Suramya, don't be disappointed. He's definitely playing.
Okay.
Rahul Dravid gave him total support, so he's definitely playing. Dinesh Karthik is a doubt, but obviously he was in the nets yesterday, batted, and kept wickets as well. But they're going to see how he is today before taking a call. So once the pre-match schedule starts, we'll know for sure.
Yeah, and well, that's a happy news, Vineet. We were just talking about the weather report, so it's just a bit of a drizzle there. So we are expecting a full match, isn't it?
Fingers crossed. Obviously, fingers crossed. See what. एक तो यार ये एडलेड का वेदर नहीं है. मैंने अभी एक जैकेट पहना हुआ है, लेकिन मेरे बैग में 3 जैकेट और पड़ा है. Because it is so windy, it's so chilly. I've been coming to Adelaide since 2014, and my God, this is like I'm in Kashmir or something in full December. It's supposed to go down to 8 degrees again, so I'm really scared about how I will go back after the match. But jokes apart, as Netherlands have won by 5 wickets with a shot down the ground, the 80-meter boundary I was saying. So yeah, I mean, it's really chilly, it's really windy, so it could impact fielding. It could impact in terms of आप किस end से swing bowling करा रहे हैं. I mean, the first over may not be Bhuvneshwar Kumar, it might be Mohammad Shami, because it just depends. Because will it take the ball away from the batsman? Will it bring it into the batsman? That is a consideration. But I was saying that India will bat first, but again, given the conditions, bowling first might not be that bad an idea. I mean, anything could really happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. But there is definite threat of rain around. But I don't think, because this game has ended early. It's only 5:40 right now. Plus we have the half an hour extension if needed for the India game. So I don't think there's that big a threat as yet. And yeah, fingers crossed, we should get a full game. India has been lucky in that sense.
Yeah,
and loud cheer, just as if I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Virat Kohli has just come onto the field.
Well, that's a great news. Everybody's waiting for Virat Kohli. You know, whenever he comes to the ground, there's a roar in the stadium, and that's what everyone's waiting for in this game as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, and coffee, because it's so chilly, so cold, and I mean, I haven't taken out my binoculars yet, but I'm just waiting to see which players are playing and not playing. I mean, I think that's Hardik Pandya who's going towards the pitch. It's Yuzvendra Chahal as well, Arshdeep Singh as well. So spotting quite a few. I think that's Dinesh Karthik also in his. I mean, I need binoculars.
I mean, that's a good sign that you are spotting Dinesh Karthik there. But but do you think most likely he won't play? I mean, it would be Pant, or do you think there's a chance that they'll still go with Dinesh Karthik?
No, I mean, it just depends. If it was about his fitness, I mean, they had. Sorry, I'm just trying to take out my binoculars. They had clearly mentioned that they will decide depending on his fitness, whether he is fit to play or not. And I think, like I said yesterday, he was a bit ginger keeping the wickets. Indo nets में आप pace bowler पे नहीं कर सकते keeping, ठीक है? तो Indo nets में he was keeping to spinners, and I thought he was a bit ginger. And let's see. I'll try and spot him as. एक minute though, I'll try and spot him.
Yeah, sure. Everyone's waiting for that.
I'm not joking. I can't see so far. I'm really. I specifically bought this for this only. Just give me 1 second.
And while you're spotting there, I may want to ask one other question on the combination. Do you spot Ravichandran Ashwin and Chahal, both of them? And if that's the case, who do you think will get the nod?
No, Chahal is definitely on the side track.
Okay.
He's one of those guys who will always be there. मतलब मस्त बंदा है, कुछ ना कुछ करता ही रहता है. He keeps busy, you know. Is he playing or not? I don't think he is playing, because Ashwin is definitely playing. Ashwin really batted in the nets yesterday. He was there bowling. He was taking throwdowns from Vikram Rathod, and he was trying to play his pull shots, you know, trying to get the hits going. He's practicing for the hits, and right now he has the ball in his hand and he's ready to bowl on the adjacent wicket. Let me just see who those guys are.
Well, these are the.
That's Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Mohammad Shami who are warming up. Axar Patel, not really that much. Arshdeep, so I think the pace attack is unchanged. Ashwin has his hands in his jacket, so I can't really tell. But I think we'll have to wait just a bit more. Rahul Dravid taking a look at the pitch, and he's shadow batting. He loves that pitch, obviously. He loves that pitch. Adelaide Oval. What a brilliant test match that was. We all grew up watching that test match. I'm just still trying to figure out if I can spot Dinesh Karthik. There's Virat Kohli. There's KL Rahul. And he is speaking with Dinesh Karthik. So that's Dinesh Karthik. He's just standing there. And he has his gloves on.
That's interesting. That is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you spotted Rishabh Pant? Have you spotted Rishabh Pant yet in his gear, in his wicket-keeping gear?
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't think I see him. No, I don't think I see him. So the entire team is not yet out. Definitely,
Okay,
the entire team is not yet out. I think they're still, because it's still too early. It's still too early. So let's see what happens. So yeah, Dinesh Karthik definitely has.
Let's wait and watch for sure. Chetan, before I let you go, one question. I mean, we've discussed about the combinations a lot, but what does this match mean for Team India? Because we've been on and on going about. Look, these are relatively easy games left for India, but there is also a sense that there is rain prediction here. You go to the next game, I think Melbourne, 3 out of 4 games have been washed out. India could be in a precarious situation that way, or it's just reading too much into it. I mean, it's going to be easy for India, even if the rain was coming.
Look, Vinny, let's just straight away look at the table. Which is the team which has 4 points, same as India? That is Bangladesh. They have 2 games in hand, obviously. What we saw with Ireland, England, I think we need to take an example there. If it was a full game, England would have won. There's no doubt about that. I mean, England played poorly that day. Ireland played well. But obviously the rain helped them. BLS helped them. So India should not take this lightly. It can always be a banana skin game. I think Rahul Dravid se better koi nahi janta hai ki Bangladesh can be a banana skin game. So I think he will be able to inspire. Yeah, he'll be able to inspire his troops. India is not there yet. They still need at least one more win to make sure that they are there. मतलब पाकिस्तान का खतरा खत्म हो जाएगा उसके बाद. So, and obviously run rate भी इतना ज़्यादा difference नहीं है क्योंकि India's run rate is plus 0.8, Pakistan's is plus 0.7. So India is not there yet. Anything can happen. Let's not. There's one more thing I want to say कि Indian cricket में ना professionalism बहुत ज़्यादा आ गया है. So I don't think they are taking these games lightly. Everybody's seen what Zimbabwe did to Pakistan. They can do the same to India. Bangladesh, as always, a banana skin game. And with the threat of weather, as Suramya was pointing out, with the threat of weather, अगर एक बॉल भी आप पीछे रह जाते हो ना DRS पास स्कोर से और मैच वहां खत्म हो गया तो उसके बाद आप ये नहीं कह सकते अरे एक बॉल और करने देते. नहीं, that's not how it works. So yeah, I really don't think they will be taking this game lightly, or in fact the next game against Zimbabwe lightly either.
Yeah, well, right. Thank you so much, Chetan, for joining with us. And to all the viewers, there were live updates. We got to know, we can spot Virat Kohli.
One last. Let's go one last time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chetan.
Let's go one. So Virat Kohli taking throwdowns, and we have Arshdeep and Bhuvi and Shami bowling a bit. There's a game of football happening where Surya is playing, Rahul is playing, Rishabh is playing, and he is not at all ready to play this game, from what I can see. And Yuzi is helping Hardik bowl and Ashwin bowl, and Harshal Patel is bowling today, and so is Axar Patel. So there could be at least 2 changes. But I'm definitely thinking that Axar Patel will be back.
Great. Those are the live updates. And you all can bank on while choosing your playing 11 for the day, because Chetan has already spotted out players who are there on the ground. So that's a really interesting update. Thank you so much, Chetan, for joining with us.
Thank you.
Well, quite a lot of interesting updates, Vineet.
That's probably the first time that somebody on live sessions really spotting and looking at the players and giving you inputs that this player might be in or not. Only you can find it here at Cricketnext for sure.
Absolutely. And so interesting. We were just talking about Dinesh Karthik, and he just mentioned that he's out there with the gloves. Well, if he comes in, it'll be very interesting to see, because everybody's thinking that he might not play today.
That's the thing. I mean, that was the main thing that we were discussing, right? Dinesh Karthik, will he play or will he not? The only thing for me is that if he is fit and if they want to stretch him, maybe look that keeping that winning momentum or keeping that momentum, that combination going. That's probably the only reason they would want to go ahead with Dinesh Karthik. And maybe look, whatever spasm that he probably had might have been just a simple niggle that we may not have to worry that much. I mean, there is always a thing that when you follow certain piece of information per certain piece of news, a lot of things comes up. We tend to make a mountain out of a mole. That also could be the case here. So it's just a good signs that Dinesh Karthik is fit. He's your designated finisher, so to speak. So when the time comes, hopefully he'll be able to deliver. But in terms of him being fit, as Chetan said, that's the most important thing, right? If he is fit, that's well and good. Rishabh Pant unfortunately may have to miss out, but that's a gamble, or that's thing that India would be more than happy to go ahead with.
Absolutely. So let's just wait and watch if DK comes in there or not. But we have here playing 11, and Chetan just mentioned that he could spot Harshal Patel and then Axar Patel as well. Now we have two Patels over there. Which one would you go with in this playing 11?
Unfortunately, we don't have two Singhs or two Kumars. But yeah, of course, I'm seeing if Harshal Patel is bowling, I'll say they may rest Arshdeep Singh, because Harshal Patel would help you as your death bowler. So maybe that is the reasoning where you are seeing Harshal Patel warming up, rest for Arshdeep Singh. I don't think that they'll rest Bhuvneshwar Kumar, because Bhuvneshwar Kumar is a vital cog up there with the new ball. But having said that, Arshdeep Singh also did well with the new ball. So it could either be Bhuvneshwar Kumar or an Arshdeep Singh being rested for a Harshal Patel. Axar Patel, I really don't think so, because if Ravichandran Ashwin is playing, I really don't think how you could put in an Axar Patel. And that would mean you'll drop Deepak Hooda. That could be one of the things. And if going by Chetan, Axar Patel and Harshal Patel are the both players playing in, I would bet my money on Bhuvneshwar, Arshdeep Singh being rested and Deepak Hooda going out. I think these are the two changes that I see. And Dinesh Karthik, by the looks of it, seems to be playing this game, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And Vineet, before I move on to Bangladesh playing 11, there's a question here. I'll put it up here only. Yeah. So they're asking what's the match timing. So the
Match timing pretty much remains the same. Yeah, toss is at round 1 and 1:30 you will have the match start. The reason being the previous game, the Netherlands-Zimbabwe game, got over early before the scheduled time. So everything is on time. We have seen that in the double headers. The second game tends to be delayed a while because the previous game goes the full length, but this has not. So yeah, the timing's pretty much the same. One is your toss, get your playing 11s right by that time, and 1:30 you can tune in and watch the game.
Right. And on that note, let's move on to Bangladesh playing 11. Any changes there, Vineet?
I don't see any changes happening here. I mean, the last game against Zimbabwe, which they won by close margin of 3 runs, they had 8 batters in that team. Looking at the Indian team, they probably need all the batters that they could. So I don't see any changes happening here in this lineup. I mean, they bat deep, even to Nurul Hussain. So I don't think any changes are going to happen here.
Right. And Vineet, I'm so glad to tell you that there's so many questions coming in for you that, I'll have to take one by one all those questions, at least a few of them. Then we have a question here, why not Pant instead of DK? I think we have talked about it at length, but would you like to give a one-liner to this question?
If there is an option, Mr. Ashwin Rao, of course, a Pant instead of DK is the right option. But as our correspondent Chetan did mention that through his binoculars, what he's seeing that Dinesh Karthik is practicing with his gear on, and Rishabh Pant is not. So that's probably the reason why not Pant instead of DK. They'll probably go with DK. But then again, you are not really certain till the time the toss happens and you have the playing 11 dished out by Rohit Sharma. But yeah, most likely it's going to be DK, not Pant.
Right. So we have seen quite a few matches between India and Bangladesh in past T20 World Cups, and that's their head-to-head record. Putting this in mind, which team are you roaring for? Obviously, India, it's our team, but who do you think has an upper hand today?
Massive upper hand to India, of course. I mean, as you mentioned, you get the head-to-head tally up, 3 wins and 0 wins for Bangladesh. I think it's going to be 4-0. And you have to remember the last World Cup game the teams played was in Bangalore 2016. What a cracker of a game it was.
Nobody can forget that.
Nobody can forget that. I'm certain that we are not going to see that kind of a close contest, because that Bangladesh side was very good. The Indian side wasn't that great, but then again, they did scrape past Bangladesh. But this time around, look, Shakib Hassan himself said that, if they are to beat India, they will consider it as an upset. Pretty much says the mentality of the Bangladesh team. It could be pressure tactics, so to speak, but Shakib was pretty much straight up, forward with that India are the overwhelming favorites. But for Bangladesh, the thing here is that they have got two wins. They have got wins over Netherlands, they've got wins over Zimbabwe, and the fact that so much deep into the tournament, they are still in the contention for semi-finals. It's a good thing for them. I mean, they'll take that as a confidence booster, even if they're going up against somebody like India. And as Chetan mentioned, Bangladesh are always banana skin. They have shown in the past that they are no easy team to steamroll. So on their given day, they can perform well, they can upset, but India overwhelming favorites here, most definitely.
Absolutely. And that's that from our live session today. But taking two pointers here, Dev Prasanna says that Pant can give India a great start. Definitely, Dev, but we'll have to watch out whether he will be there in this game or not. Because, as Chetan already mentioned, that he could see Dinesh Karthik with the gloves. So it's most likely that Dinesh Karthik might come in. But if Pant comes in, we'll have to watch out because Vineet and I were just talking, before that we haven't seen him in the best of his forms. So let's just hope what happens today. And yes, there's so many wishes for both the teams. So all the best to India and Bangladesh. And thank you so much, Vineet, for joining with me in this session and everyone for joining with us in this session. Thank you so
Pleasure.
much. So for all the other live updates, you can tune in with us on our YouTube channel, that's Cricketnext. And also you can connect with us on various social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Till then, enjoy the match and we will be back with you all in the post-match live session right after the match. So have fun and enjoy.